All right, welcome back to 48 and 24. We're continuing on, and we're going to be talking this half hour about Coach's Eye, one of our mobile apps, which is pretty cool. And I want to welcome Rory Hool to the studio.
Good to be here.
Rory, welcome. Why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, how long you've been at TechSmith, and then tell us a little bit about Coach's Eye, because maybe not everyone knows what it is.
Right. So I'm Rory Hool.
Is the microphone off on?
I think so.
Here, it's actually yellow, so can you hand me the back real quick? We got to keep checking the mics better, but there we go.
There we go.
Now you got audio, Kyle.
Are we good?
Yep.
All right.
Always problems with live events. So who you are, how long you been at TechSmith, and tell us a little bit about Coach's Eye.
Right. So I'm Rory Hool, and I've been here for 3 years, first as an intern, and then I was on the web team for a while, and then a couple years ago I switched over to doing Android development on the Coach's Eye team, so getting the Android client started.
So you're deep in writing code.
Oh yeah, every day. Yep. So Coach's Eye is it's a video analysis application. It's mostly used for sports. It allows you to do things like slow down video, slow motion, scrub through it frame by frame, draw on it, zoom in. So really, it's for showing detail when technique is important, and just like going over specific motions of athletes or anyone doing technical things. So.
And so far, it seems like this has a powerful concept. How has it been, Coach's Eye, been received out in the public and kind of by those who are using it?
Right. So really well. I think when the team first started, they'd said that they kind of anticipated it would be something that would be used by high school coaches and parents, kind of at the low end, like low tech. But it's really been embraced by every level. There's people using it at the Olympics, this past Winter Olympics. And everybody's been, the convenience of it really is what people are drawn to, because they have these $1,000 systems that, they bought these really nice cameras and they have these really nice computers, but it's such a pain to set it up that they found having the phone on the field or having the iPad is just a lot more convenient. And the fact that you can look at what you're doing when your muscle memory is still fresh really helps them to learn from their mistakes quickly.
So there was I know at least internally it's passed around, a Wall Street Journal just did an article that mentioned Coach's Eye and talked about, and specifically in Sochi, that it was kind of all over the place. Lots of athletes using it to perform and help their performance. Yeah,
so there's a lot of U.S. athletes using it. There was Heather Richardson for speed skating, Billy DeMong for skiing, and Patrick Deneen for mogul skiing. They were all using it. And actually the gold medalist, Alex Bilodeau, for skiing from Canada, his coach uses it. So we know that at least one gold medal was won with Coach's Eye for sure.
Fantastic.
And also the UK ice dancing team is using it. Their coach is a gold medalist from the 80s, and he's been using it with his team. So yeah, a lot of adoption. And when we were watching the Olympic streams, we saw a lot of iPads out there, and we'd always see the back of them, but we were wondering if they were using Coach's Eye.
What's on the other side?
Yeah,
of
we
that
wanted
screen?
them to turn it around real quick and show us, but we were pretty sure it was Coach's Eye. So.
Very cool. So as let me ask you this before because I know there's some other things we want to talk about.
Yeah.
As a developer, knowing that what you're making is being used at all these different levels. I mean, yes, it's cool that it's helping the highest level of athletic performance, but it's also helping schools and educators and even kids in high school learn trying to get better at their sport. How does that make you feel, and that your product you're helping to build is having that kind of impact?
Yeah, it's a really cool experience because we get a lot of direct feedback from customers, and it's feedback that we can work on like the day we hear it. We can hear about a bug or hear about some feature people really love, and then we can get right to work on improving things. So we can do really quick releases and really have a big impact day to day, which is really rewarding. So.
Absolutely. So I know you brought some examples.
Yeah.
You want to show off what some of the things people are using Coach's Eye for?
Going over some catching technique in baseball, kind of showing the quickest way so you can transition the ball and pass it on. There's another one here which is breaking down a soccer kick. You can see how just being able to draw directly on the video provides a lot of help with that. And also other use cases. There's an example here. This is actually a biology lesson on anatomy of a morning glory flower, which was pretty surprising when we first saw it, but it makes a lot of sense because you'll see in the video, you can draw arrows, you can zoom in and talk about, what he's trying to teach them. And then another one that was even more surprising was this MRI scan. Someone was actually using Coach's Eye to just draw attention to certain parts of the MRI and kind of share information about that. So it's been interesting. Every sport imaginable as we've seen use it, even sports that I didn't know existed, like dog agility, where the dog running through different courses.
I'm guessing there's not a lot of playback and you show the pup like, oh, look what you're doing wrong here, right?
It's more for, I think, the other trainers, but yeah. And I'd also had an example here. This just kind of shows the app itself.
And so you actually work on the Android version. So this is the Android version that we're seeing here?
Yeah, this is the Android version. There's also an iOS version and Windows 8 version, which was more recently released. So in the Android version, if you select a video, it'll go full screen, and you can use the scrub wheel at the bottom to go through slow motion and do things like draw angles. So you can show specifics, details, what people should be doing, or you can just point things out. So it's been really valuable to quickly be able to find the part in the video that's the most interesting to the teacher and the student.
So you talked about muscle memory. So are you finding, because obviously you can make this analysis video, you can send it to the athlete or the student or whomever you're working with, but it sounds like the value is not, while I'm sure there's lots of value in having that video, but it sounds like it is what you guys are seeing, and a lot of athletes use it, like they're using it in the moment then?
Yeah. So there will be some people who, they'll do remote coaching, so they'll send the video out to the students or to review later. But yeah, I think it's a good majority of it. The time is just spent actually showing the athlete what happens right after they do their run or right after they, do their practice, so that they can look at that, see what they're doing wrong, and then fix it right away. They don't have to say, okay, well, last week coach sent me a video that said this, so now this practice I'll try this. But really, like right on the spot, they can iterate on what they're doing.
So I guess for you, and you said you were surprised by like the biology example. Are there other surprises of uses that you've seen that, as a team, that you're just like have blown you away, or maybe even an example of a sport, somebody's video that just was amazing that you couldn't believe? Yeah.
So we've seen things like construction workers. They use to show like how far along they are in a project, and like send that to the people who are hiring them, basically. Other uses, a lot of physical therapy, which makes a lot of sense, but it wasn't really a use case that we'd anticipated as much, because it is very technical and something you have to improve on when you're doing physical therapy. But and we've seen a lot of one of the biggest things that wasn't so much of a surprise, but the CrossFit community has really like adopted this app and are very adamant about using it to improve their technique when they're doing their reps and lifting. And actually, even some of the guys on the team have been inspired to start doing CrossFit, because
I heard one guy lost 25 pounds so far.
Yeah, he's been working out hard. Yeah, and there's just this huge community of people that I didn't even know anything about the sport before the video started pouring in. So it's been pretty interesting to watch.
Well, very cool. So if someone's using Coach's Eye, they've got an idea, or they want to give you guys feedback, what's the best way to get a hold of the team?
So we have, I think, feedback.coacheseye.com, where users can submit ideas and any kind of features they want about the app or things like that. So
very cool. So if you guys have feedback for Coach's Eye, you can get it in Android. It's free download.
Yep, Android's free right now. Yep.
iOS, it's $4.99.
Yep.
And then Windows
right now, it is $20. So
$20. So a little bit of difference there, but it depends on what device you are. So go check it out if you haven't. Go to the Coach's Eye website. You can get more information. We want to thank Rory for coming in. We're going to chat a little bit more after we cut the recording, but go check out Coach's Eye, and congratulations to all the Olympians out there that have been using it and finding success, and everyone else. It's pretty cool and exciting stuff, but we'll be right back and with more 48 and 24 in just a minute.